DNA, short for deoxyribonucleic acid, is the genetic code. It gets passed down from generation to generation, making the next generation have similar characteristics to their parents. It codes for proteins which give us traits such as eye and hair color. DNA has the shape of a double helix, meaning it is double-stranded and twirls around an invisible axis in the center, unless it is being replicated or mRNA is being transcribed. DNA is made up of a phosphate group, pentose sugar, and a nitrogenous base. The four nitrogenous bases are adenine, cytosine, thymine, and guanine. There are two types of bases. In the diagram, the circle represents the phosphate group. The pentagon connected to the circle is the pentose sugar, and the next structure is the base. The diagram on the left shows a pyrimidine, and the structure on the right shows a purine. Purines are larger because they have an additional 6-member ring of carbon and nitrogen atoms in their bases. The pyrimidines are thymine and cytosine. The purines are adenine and guanine. There are times when something happens to DNA that causes changes in the genetic code. These are mutations. Some mutations may have positive effects, while others can severely limit an individual's life. Normal blood cells are circular. They have the ordinary hemoglobin molecule, which allows for easy transport of oxygen throughout the body. Sickle cell anemia is a genetic disorder that causes hemoglobin to change shape into rods instead of circles. This disorder shows heterozygous advantage because a heterozygote has both healthy and sickle cells in their blood, making them more resistant to malaria. Homozygous recessive, however, results in all blood cells being sickle cell, leading to death because sickle cells are not efficient in carrying oxygen throughout the body. Cystic fibrosis is a disorder that strikes 1 out of every 2,500 white Europeans. The disorder causes defective proteins in the membrane of the cell, which are used as a channel for chloride atoms. This results in high levels of chloride outside the cells. Usually, an enzyme breaks down lipids in the brain. Tay-Sachs disease is caused by that enzyme not functioning correctly. The enzyme is supposed to break down gangliosides, which is a type of lipid. As the quantity of this lipid increases in the brain cells stop working, which ultimately leads to death. Huntington's disease is an example of a lethal autosomal dominant allele, because if a person has the dominant allele, even if it's heterozygous, they have the disease which ends up killing the person, thus a lethal dominant allele. This disease causes the degeneration of the nervous system, which ends up killing the individual with the disorder.